Beneath the signature amber-colored bottles, text-heavy packaging, and physical stores that each look like something out of an Architectural Digest magazine is a brand that's been around since 1987. So
We're getting some people in the office to use the bougiest $40 hand wash and getting their thoughts.
Pulled in another tribute? Okay, so I'm just gonna get you to wash your hands with this.
This is Celine. She's from Germany.
What it smells like. Wow, what? That was so unexpected. It has like grainy stuff in it. What is it called? It's like
Exfoliating.
Oh yeah, exfoliating, sorry. I'm German.
Here's a fellow Aussie.
Quite nice. It's not too abrasive.
Here's Colin. I just found him.
It feels really good. I didn't even expect this. This is really like taking me to a place I've never been before as far as hand soaps.
This is Brandon.
I feel like this is a more serious hand washing experience than what I generally have. And it smells good too.
Because it's not just a normal hand soap. I would go with $10 or something.
Is this Aesop?
I don't get this experience with a normal hand soap.
Do you even buy hand soap normally?
I don't maybe $1 or $2.
Tell me what you think this costs.
Maybe
Okay.
30 to 50 bucks.
Okay. You would actually be right.
there's just something so satisfying in products that are designed classically, simply, and traditionally. Whether you care for bougie high-end soaps, hand balms, or even perfumes, there is one brand within these ranks that have actually been producing skincare since its inception about 3 decades ago. And I'm sure you've seen it. And if you're not convinced, even Hailey Biebs is on board.
As Nana likes to make them in the cupcake tin.
No, not the muffins. Yep, right there. Ding! That's why today we're gonna be exploring Aesop.
Like, do people come in and say it differently?
People say Aesop all the time. The brand is called Aesop. Aesop!
And they've managed to stay ahead of the trends while remaining largely silent. Subscribe! So my curiosity actually started about a month ago when I was back home in Australia, and I realized walking around that their Pinterest-like aesthetic spa stores, no two of them were the same. They were all uniquely different. From the marble sinks to the brass tapware and all their clean shelves. Oh my god. Chef's kiss! And when COVID hit, it was a time when everyone was really concentrating on hands, hand washing, which propelled their already cult favorite hand wash even further to become mainstream, especially for people who wanted a little bit of self-care, so that it wasn't just a chore to wash our hands, it was more of an experience, a new life pleasure, if you will. And don't underestimate our humble hands, because the hand washing market was worth $2.5 billion in 2020, but that's projected to be doubled and worth about $5 billion.
Your hand is like the closest thing to your face skin. That's why we do everything like on the back.
Yeah.
Even when we try skincare, we put it on the back of your hand. And now we're going to wrap your hand in a little blanket.
Yay! This is like the best part of a manicure too.
Yes, exactly.
But it's not just all about our hands, right? What else did this brand do to turn mainstream while keeping so humble? And it all started in Melbourne, Australia, when a hairdresser by the name of Dennis Paphitis began mixing essential oils into hair products because he realized how bad the ammonia in these hair dye products smelled, so he wanted to alleviate and make it more of a pleasurable experience as people were getting their hair done. If you've never seen their products, you might have recognized some of their scents. And it's probably in some combination of rosemary, citrus peel, bergamot, or even cedar, because all the products within the Aesop brand are formulated with essential oils. And the formulations combine both natural and lab-made ingredients that are known for their earthy and herbal scents. Let's now look a little bit into the aesthetic. Starting from the bottle, the black and white lettering between alternating black and cream solids is pretty identifiable from miles away. They use minimalistic wording using the fonts Helvetica and Optima Medium, and the Macron diacritic, which is the straight bar over the E on the label, lets you know that it's pronounced Aesop. So even from this, it's kind of a brand that's like, if you know, you know. Now before we get into my review, let's talk about price. In an interview with Dennis where he was asked about the price of the hand balm, he was basically unperturbed. Critics are at the liberty to use other products. There's no justification required. We make exceptional products with great care and attention. So there you go. That's badass because he's just super confident about the quality of his products. You might have even noticed that they don't really do marketing. Like you haven't seen them on billboards, buses, you haven't really heard from them from influencers. So what do they actually do to get their name out there? It really is just through organic word of mouth. So to get into the mood of the haul, let's go and spray my living room and then we'll continue there. So I got my hands on about 10 new products from the Aesop line, all in different categories from skincare to mouthwash to toothpaste, serums. And so I want to let you know which ones I think are worth spending the money on, which ones, if you haven't tried anything from them, you might want to explore, and which ones maybe are just worth the skip. Okay, so let's start on, I guess, the cult favorite, which is the hand wash or the balm, like the body balm or the hand balm. Bing! I have the Reverence Aromatic Hand Wash. This is actually one of the two main lines of their hand wash products. Each of them go for $40 each, and it's in this 16.9 fluid ounce or 500 ml. So I know $40 is pretty steep for, you know, a hand wash. If you compare it to a lot of other brands in this range, like Le Labo or even Byredo, $40 actually sits snugly in the middle because I know Byredo sells ones for like 60 something dollars. Le Labo has like a hand soap that goes for $55. This is the Reverence, as I said, and I actually prefer this over the cult favorite, the Resurrection Aromatic Hand Wash. And this is actually the version that contains finely milled pumice. So this one does have that physical exfoliation property, which I really love because it's like that extra like luxury at home or spa-like experience that you can recreate at home. Some people might not like, you know, the exfoliating properties every single day or using it every time they wash their hands. So I would say this is also a great like alternative to having other soaps and hand washes, and I won't go for this all the time. So in that respect, I can see why this isn't like a necessity. But if you want to go for more of that everyday hand wash, I would suggest that you can find the ones without the pumice stone. So I really love this one. It is the Reverence, and I actually had no idea what Reverence really meant. So I Googled it, and it is defined as deep respect for someone or something, which I love. I just find it really does make a difference when, you know, you're washing your hands and you're like, and you're really like in tune with what you're smelling, how it's making you feel as a practice of presence. So moving on, the next thing I picked up in the store was the Lucent Facial Concentrate. So when I picked it up off the shelf, I looked at the ingredients. It's got rose petals, sodium ascorbyl phosphate, and niacinamide. So from this, we know it's a vitamin C and niacinamide serum designed to balance combination as well as oily skin types. The most exciting thing for this serum is that I realized and solidified while it was in Australia that I think I react to L-ascorbic acid, because 2 or 3 times that I've tried a new vitamin C serum, I instantly get like really irritated, itchy, and I have a rash, like a low-key rash for about 2 weeks for it to fully disappear. So then right at the end of my trip was when I got this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try a derivative of vitamin C to see if it still happens. And I didn't break out, I didn't get a face rash, I didn't get irritated, it wasn't drying, and I can tell you, I love it. So the serum is this really lightweight gel consistency. Then I looked into the ingredients and found that it actually does have an extract of red algae, which is called sodium carrageenan. And then the finish of it was that it left my face feeling like a little bit tacky. and then I fanned it out a little bit, and then it just like really dissolved into my skin to become more of this like satin to like semi-mattifying almost, but really hydrated. People hate on essential oils all the time, but me being a person with sensitive skin, I actually found that this worked better than like other ingredients that aren't formulated with. So it just goes to show it depends on the oil, it depends on your skin, it depends on everyone. What I don't love is the price. It's $120 and I'm like, whoa, okay, that's pretty expensive. But I would say if I think about it, people are selling vitamin C serums for more than $100 anyway. Those vitamin C's might be saying that it's pure L-ascorbic acid, which is why they can charge higher for it because it's, you know, the source of vitamin C. But then to me now, I'm like, I can't even use those products anyway. Next is actually a kit. So in the store when we were browsing, they had these like boxes. So there was two. There was an arrival and a departure. And because I was about to leave back to New York, I was like, you know what? The departure sounds good. And actually, it was far superior to the arrivals, I would say, because it comes with 7 different products, either mini-sized or full-sized. So this is a great way. I feel like if you want to try a bunch of their products without committing to full size, can I tell you this kit is a 10 out of 10. You get a lip product, there's a toothpaste, there's a hydrating mask, which is like a moisturizer. There's the Resurrection Aromatic Hand Balm in the small version. Then they have a rinse-free hand wash, perfection, mouthwash, even more perfection, and this immediate moisture facial hydrosol, which is a facial mist. I first want to start off with this blue chamomile facial hydrating mask. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is essentially like a hydrating overnight mask. You can use it 2 ways, using it as a 30-minute mask and then you wipe the excess off and just like pat the rest in, or you can use it as like your moisturizer to sleep overnight and then wash it off in the morning. What it contains is niacinamide, sodium carrageenan, which is that red algae again, and bisabolol, which is the blue chamomile. We've heard of bisabolol in a lot of soothing, calming, like Korean formulated skincare products. Lord knows everyone who's been on a long distance flight has come off the plane with 5 new pimples, cracked skin, you're just dehydrated, you're like a corpse, and it's just not cute. So before the flight, I went into the bathroom, washed my face, did my whole routine using the hydrosol facial mist as well as this. I kid you not, when we arrived back in New York, got off the plane, even Thomas was like, your skin looks great, something of that form. I was like still half asleep, but I was like, what? And then I went to the toilet, looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh my God, I only applied this once throughout the time from Taiwan back to New York, and my skin was actually plump, and it looked like, you know, when you first wake up, your skin's like a little bit puffy, but it looks really smooth and it's really like plump. That was actually how my skin looked using this. And that was the first time I've ever stepped off a plane and had that feeling. Normally, I'm itchy, I have a bajillion pimples, my T-zone is all over the place, and then I have to recover for the next 5 days. So I was like, whoa! If you're looking for a soothing, calming overnight mask that can do it, like, okay, so let's talk about the hydrating mist next. It's called the Immediate Moisture Facial Hydrosol. This one is a beautiful scent. Once again, like more of that earthy, woodsy, rosy scent. I would say this one is not a standout in my view because I've used a bunch of really like great facial mists. Like I enjoy the Caudalie one more because it has that layer of like essential oils, and it did the job of toning my face, hydrating my face, prepping my face, pairing up these two on the flight. But I don't think I'll be repurchasing this one. So the next thing quickly is the Resurrection Aromatic Hand Balm. Remember I was saying that they have Reverence and Resurrection for the hand wash and hand balm. This is just the small one of the Resurrection. The consistency of their hand balms are so great because it's not too thick. It's also not sticky, which I really despise. I don't like anything that's actually overly thick and hydrating for a hand balm. It was the best duo that came with the rinse-free hand wash that they have. So this is also the Resurrection rinse-free hand wash. So see what I mean? Where they produce multiple products within the same aroma line. So these two are like a matching pair, and it's got the same notes. You can buy this for $10 individually as well if you need. It didn't leave a sticky feeling. It wasn't like overly aromatic or smelled like alcohol. You know how sometimes a lot of them smell like alcohol? Much more subtle than the hand cream. So if you're going for something where you want people to smell your hands as you move it around, then hand cream is the way to go. But the hand wash is a nice subtle scent that eventually fades, and it doesn't leave any sort of residue on your hand, so you feel nice, fresh, and clean. Another thing that I got convinced through this was actually twofold. So once at the store, Thomas is a fan of mouthwash. He loves, you know, Crest mouthwash, any sort of mouthwash. He uses it every day, and I'm like, you are not putting that on the bathroom counter. So when we went in there, I was like, oh, there's a mouthwash. Do you want to try it? And he was like, yeah, okay. So he tries it, gives me a cup as well. And then I tried it and I was like, oh my God. And then the departure kit actually has a mini mouthwash. How considerate. This is just like more fresh than it is painful. I would say other ones are kind of like painful and burning. You know, oral hygiene is a thing. I went to the dentist for the first time in 6 years. I'm not proud of it. And I realized I had a bunch of cavities and I might need to take out all 4 of my wisdom teeth. And I was like mortified. This is your reminder to floss every day. So I would highly recommend you go to the Aesop store and try their mouthwash. Okay, the last 2 things is a lip product as well as a toothpaste. So let's start with the cedar and citrus lip salve. So this is nice because your lips are perpetually parched. Even if you're like me and they're not normally dry, they're dry on the plane, let me tell you. The ingredients for this one is grapefruit rind, cedar atlas, and orange rind. This is really interesting. It's like a gel oil lip product or like lip ointment, and it's not thick, and I've been using this before I go to sleep, and it just keeps it nice and supple, and it actually smells divine. It gives your lips more of a glossy finish compared to, you know, your typical lip balm, but I will say that it wears off faster than like your like thick beeswax type of balms. So just depending on what it is that you want, although the oil really does hydrate. I don't know among other things if I would repurchase this one, but for me, it's a nice to have and very enjoyable to use because it's not sticky. Last thing is this toothpaste. If you don't know, mint is added into toothpaste just to give you that psychological feeling that you're fresh and clean, right? But it doesn't actually do much other than the feeling of mint. It feels like a really clean toothpaste. It doesn't foam and froth like another Colgate or like Crest, you know, typical toothpaste does, but it just like cleans the teeth and gums and still has that minty freshness, but just subdued and subtle. So if you're into like clean toothpastes or the feeling of kind of like clean toothpaste, I feel like this is something that you actually might enjoy. So I would say if you're traveling, guys, try and get this departure kit. Next is also in the wheelhouse of like aromatherapy. It's the ginger flight therapy. So this is essentially a roll-on like aromatic oil. It's got ginger root, lavender, and geranium. So I thought this would be just a fun purchase more than anything. It's got the effects of soothing mentally. And what you do is just roll this onto all your pulse points. Like you can put it on your temples, your neck, your wrists. And from those areas that generate heat, it will help like, I don't know, have that aroma around. But I have been using this since we got back at night because I'm still jet lagged and I can't sleep at night and I'm wide awake at 4 a.m. And so has it been able to put me to rest? Not really, but I do feel calm. It's also great to have in the office just as kind of like your pick-me-up as well if you need a little reset. So I would say my top 3 items that I would recommend would be these 3. The Reverence Aromatic Hand Wash, the Facial Concentrate with vitamin C and niacinamide, as well as the Blue Chamomile Facial Hydrating Mask. Those are so awesome. So the story of Aesop to me really tells of staying in your lane, producing products that are high quality, and regardless of trends and popularity, doing what feels right to you. Because if it's truly something good, that will speak for itself. And this is a metaphor that we can apply to just about everything, from people around us to situations we face, and everything that we interact with, like our favorite products. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you like this format, let us know what you would like to see below. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and if you've just joined the Beauty Within family, thank you, and more to come soon. See you in the next one.
Perfect.